What's up, guys? It's Crypto Mini, and I am here to talk about Bitcoin. What happened today? Pretty much went up to 15,000, broke some new highs, yearly high for 2020. But what I'm really going to talk about is the market cycle for Bitcoin and pretty much what you're expecting out of the next couple months. Okay. All right, so right now we're looking at the brave new coin with index. Now let's take a look back at 2009, inception of Bitcoin. Right now we're looking at the monthly charts. You can see that Bitcoin actually there is a play. Okay? For people that don't know this, it's a huge cryptocurrency. There is a play happening, and kind of if you're new, you don't realize it's happening, and you're getting into that thrill euphoria stage. So before actually I talk about that, before I go into this, let me show you guys this. So that's what we're going to get into. I guess I will be talking about this. All right, so the inception of Bitcoin, we started going into a bull market. All right, so we can see that as soon as the bull market starts, what's next to that? A bear market. Bear market goes into up there. All right, so let me just give you the Fibonacci retracement tool. With Bitcoin, fibs are really important. All right. We want to do it. We did want the other way. Reverse. All right. Where was the buying area? All right. So before, I guess there it is. So before we talk about anything, let's look at this. This is what's known as the Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay. This is your market cycles. What you have to understand is that there are market cycles that happen in the market. A 4-year market cycle that's happening in Bitcoin. Once you understand that, then you know that every 4 years the market is not repeating itself, but it's repeating the cycle, the emotional cycle. The issue with the cryptocurrency market or any market, especially with the cryptocurrency market, because it's so new, a lot of people who get into it, they get into it for FOMO. If you're getting into it for FOMO, then you're not really understanding how to actually trade. So people that do understand their trading go under fundamental analysis, and what they're doing is they're pretty much utilizing your emotions. So generally speaking, most of those people get into this is what you guys see: disbelief, hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. Then what happens? It's always what happens. Then complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, with the belief. And literally, you will see this. This is literally what the market cycle is like. So you can see right now from our first 2009, you can actually see Bitcoin started on a bull run. And it started with the hope, optimism, belief, euphoria. Let's drop down into that weekly chart. It's just a bit more candlesticks at that time. Here is our weekly chart. All right. Let's see, you can at least see a bit more candles. All right. So what we got? What I'm going to do is I'm going to retrace always to the 886. Okay. So this is what you have to understand, that this is what the market's going to do. Okay. Michael, let's explain this. All right. So you can see Bitcoin did that right there. Okay. The next cycle right after a belief, thrill, euphoria is complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, panic, capitulation, anger. This Bitcoin thing is horrible. I'm getting out of it. Depression, because it's not going anywhere. And then when you just see a little bit like this, just believe, nah, it's not really heading up. And then it restarts, and then does a reaccumulation, then market cycle. So you can actually put it into bear market, bull market, bear market, accumulation, expansion, reaccumulation, bull market. All right, so this is the next halving. So the halving event actually splits it up into the 4-year increments. Okay, and what you can see out of the halving event, here's the next thing you can actually see what Bitcoins are doing is that once it does this first mini run, right, it always does a pullback. So this mini run, pullback. If we take low to high, where does it always pull back to? Reverse. Actually, had it. Oh, I'm reversing it. Reverse. All right. So we can see right back where it bounced back off of 886. Realistically, you can always get a buying area right here on a 618. In terms of buying area, that's generally your safest bet. Whenever you see a 618 retracement in the market, you're good to buy. All right, so we got a bull market, and what happens next? This is not really the bull market. This is what we would call hope. Okay, and then we have optimism. Then you have belief or euphoria. I say it like that because that's how fast it goes into it. All right, so then what happens next? Oh, we drop all the way back down to that 886 retracement. It always does that. Get used to it because this is what's going to end up happening. And don't say I never told you. So this is a 786, 886 retracement, and then continuation. All right, so we got bull market, bear market, accumulation, expansion, reaccumulation. So otherwise known as hope, disbelief. So there's hope, there's disbelief, this is disbelief, this is hope, optimism, belief, real euphoria. And then complacency, kind of like a retest. Anxiety, denial, panic, anger, and then there's depression and anger, and then disbelief. This is all disbelief here. This is expansion and reaccumulation. And then what happens next? You guys know it. It's another bull run. Yay! These bull runs are very interesting because you actually measure the bull run. So here's the next thing I can do for you so you can see this. All right, so let's measure the first bull run of Bitcoin. So you can see the percentage, how much it's gone up. So price range. So this is 2,600%. So 2,604% that bull run. Okay, this bull run. From low to high, this entire box is 2,800 and oh, a lot. That was actually if you caught that on that was 28,000. That's crazy. This is actually the first time I'm looking at have used this to actually see what was happening. So please understand that my shocking belief is literally like, wow, that was a good run. All right, here's another run right here. So this is the run that I got into. I got into Bitcoin right into this section right over here. And I was right after a halving event. I knew nothing about it, but I got sucked into the cheat sheet. So what happened next? You already know it. So there's disbelief. So there, I didn't know what, I honestly didn't know that this was disbelief. And I didn't know I was getting into it because if I explained to you guys why I got into it, that's a whole other video, but pretty much it's the future. All right, I came to that conclusion and I was like, okay, I'm good. But you can see you got your disbelief, you got your hope, you got your optimism, you got your belief, your euphoria. Yay. And I literally went through all of that. And then I went through capitulation, complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, 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 anger. Back at 3,000, I should have sold up here. And then I didn't go through depression, but that's normally what happens next. Disbelief. Nah, this is not real. And then it just continues. All right, so this last run gave us a retracement of, so if you got that, that was 5,500% from the halving to the run. All right, so the one thing you have to understand is that as Bitcoin continues to grow, right, that means that these percentages basically, so like your biggest bull run was right here, 28,000, right? I don't think we're gonna see that type of run again. Like if we saw that, that was the first bull run. And if you look at that, that was a ridiculous amount that Bitcoin went from. Let me just keep zooming in so I can actually see the price. Bitcoin went from roughly about we went from just under $100 to just over $100. So it went from roughly about $8 to $1,000 in a little bit of a span of 2012 to 2013. Wow, geez, that's a year. That was a good year. All right, so I'm not really gonna say that we're gonna expect a 28,000% increase, but based off the last two increases, we saw a 5,000 and we saw 2,000. So let's get an average of 3,000. Okay, is that a good average? I think so. All right, so from the halving event, okay, this is where we're looking at it from. If we are looking at percentages, this is only 500. That is 530. That's 900. Okay. This is 1,000. And this is 21. This is 30. This is 4. If Bitcoin was to match the all-time high, not the all-time high, but in terms of percentage gains of that bull run from here, it literally would continually go up because that was 20, not that bull run, so this bull run, 28,188. You would see, you can see here, we're way up there. We're in the 1.2 million range for Bitcoin. So 28,000, that's 2.4 million per Bitcoin. Now, I would like to be the one that calls that and says that's what's going to happen, but I'm not going to on this video, not yet at least. Do I see Bitcoin head? Bitcoin get head up as high as the video. Once again, in terms of fundamentals, if you don't know the fundamentals of Bitcoin, I highly suggest you start reading. There's a lot of great fundamentals. All right, so let's say it goes 2,000% up. Okay, it's 24. Bitcoin's price would be sitting right at $224,000, $604, something around that. That would be what the bull run would be able to do. This right here that I boxed out is only 1,000%, $140,000. Now, what's possible? And I'm telling you guys right now that this is very, very doable based off of the market cycles. Remember, the market cycles is what they're utilizing. It's not what they're utilizing, but it's what's happening in Bitcoin. It's stuck in these market cycles. All it's doing is just going around and reperforming the same market cycle. All you need to know is where is it in the market cycle. You think it's up here, but realistically, it's down here. Because what's happening is that you think that you're about to head into, you think this is the bull run, 15,000. Let me ask you a question. Why isn't the news talking about it? Now, you can say, well, it's because of an election. Randy, no, it's not that. It has nothing to do with the fact that there's an election that hasn't been called yet. The reason why the news isn't talking about it because this is the all-time high. This is not. Nothing matters until it passes this. When it surpasses this, the news still won't talk about it because it's going to retrace back down. So let's see the retracement. Okay, retracement patterns of Bitcoin are very, very important, so you know what ends up happening. So we always have to do a low to high. Okay, so right here, here's the low, here's a high. Where does it retrace? 618. All right, we have another low, we have another high. Where's the retrace? 618. I think you're gonna see what's gonna end up happening here. We have another low, we have another high. Where does it retrace? 50. So we have 50 there. It's okay. Can't always retrace to the 618, but I think you're getting the point now. It will always, as in the bull run, what will happen is that when you go from the low to the high, you'll always be able to catch a 6185. All right, that kind of rhymes. When you go to the low to the high, you always catch 6185. That's like it. All right, so what we have to look for is where is the buying? We're in a bull market now. Okay, this is a bull market. Bull, 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 bull. All right, so like look at this. So here's your low to high. Oh, look at that. What did price do? Came to the 618. Magic, like it was supposed to. That right there shows you that was it. That was the chance to buy it for that first. All it's going to do. Now, wait, let's see. Do you really believe me? Because you might be like, oh, that was only one cycle. What are you talking about? But let's see this first one. Okay, that, look. You only had a couple chances to buy in this one. This one was crazy for this run here. All right, look. Oh, nice. You don't need that much. Still a lot. All right. All right, so if we go low to high, if we got low to high, right, you actually got past the 600 and into the 786. Okay. Now you might be thinking, oh well, see, look at this one. It dropped to the 786. That's even better. This is even a better chance to buy because this is a weekly. Okay. Now, if I just go to that weekly and don't count this wick, because remember, it's a weekly. Look where you were able to buy. Oh, 618. It still holds true. All right, we go to this low, and then you never had another chance. Like literally, like you didn't have another chance after this because this low and this low and this high was the last candle. So literally, you better hope it doesn't do that. and it more emulates these moves here, which is we caught a lot of 618 retracements. Now this is baby Bitcoin. You didn't know, no one knew what was going on or what was happening. But 618, five zero. So 1-2, you got two chances to buy in, and then bull run. All right, so we are here. Okay, so now we are in this cycle here. Okay, so we had that chance there. That was a 618. So now, if price stops right there, okay, and it starts to pull down, then our 618 is roughly about 11,000. I'm going to mark that up, which means you can buy Bitcoin anywhere between 11,000 and here, 12,000. That's if this retraces now. It might head up to these highs here. Might start raising these highs here. And I want to say it's going to head up to this all-time high, but it might not. It might. Let's say, okay, let's just say it did, okay? For the sake of being able to see this play out, let's just say it went up to the all-time high, okay? And then it just got around there, then your next buying area is 1342 and 14. All right, so these are all buying areas. Let's write it in. Buying area. Buying area. Buying area. Buying area. All right, so you have 4 different buying areas based off of, this is an all-time high. So let's write that down. All-time high. All right, so we got an all-time high here, and we have it in the middle of the zone. So it has one of two choices. It can stop here. So if you start seeing this, when you start seeing this candle forming, so let's say this is what's known as letting up steam. See how this candle right now is all wick at the bottom and just heading up to the top? That's A, because there's still 2 days left in the week. And B, kind of hard to tell what's happening when you're just at this point. When we go into this, what we want to see, if you start seeing something like this, where it wicks off, retraces, comes up higher, so this is your classic head and shoulders pattern, this is a reversal pattern, okay? So when you see this in the market, chances are it's going to reverse. See? So whenever we see that, that will be the reversal down to one of these buying areas. And I guarantee you, if even like this, well, actually, sorry, this was COVID. Because if you actually look at this, this is the manipulation of the market. Look at this. Look where it wanted to stop. So it actually came to the 618, surpassed it, came down, retested, and then dropped. So if you guys are saying, oh, well, what about this one? Well, what about it? Look, hit 618, retested, and then dropped. This was COVID. This is unexplainable. You cannot deal with it. But then, if now the real thing is that why did it stop here? I'm not going to answer that in the video, but realistically, it has to do with the fact that it cleared liquidity down here, and it cleared an imbalance in the market right here, a gap. So what really happened is the fact that this is smart money actually closing their positions and then continuing up. All right. So the thing is that as more dumb money comes into the market, this market's going to continue going up. Now, what I mean by dumb money is that it's people that don't actually trade, no institutional traders, no banks, because what they want to do, the banks want to do, is they want to drive the price. They drove this price down to buy at the bottom. You don't believe me? This is the CME group, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Look at the day that it started. December 16th, 2017. That was also the day of Bitcoin's all-time high. Isn't it interesting that Bitcoin introduces institutional trading on the same day as an all-time high and then drives price right down? Now you think that, oh, they want to keep price down. No, they don't want to keep price down. But what they did is they drove price right back down to these areas so they can buy in. Why? Because this is an 88% discount from up here. So literally, they understand the value of this market so much that they drove 88% retracement just to buy in, got another opportunity to buy in. You're not seeing $3,000 Bitcoin again. Say sayonara to that, because all you're seeing now, you might see a $9,000, maybe not, because gaps get like the other thing that's getting left in the market are gaps. In a Elliott wave wave 3 of the Elliott wave will always leave gaps in the market. So we can expect gaps to be left in the market. Just period. And this is clearly a wave 3 because look how it's heading. This is a wave 2. This is a wave 1 retracement. Wave 3. So wave 1, 2, 3. There has to be a retracement. Now the only time you'll have a retracement, you'll see this in the market. So when you see this in the market, when you see this happen, this is a retracement. So mind you, this consolidation was over 42 days. So normally when during this consolidation what's happening is this is what we call alt season. Alt season is not long. Alt season is when all the altcoins start booming because Bitcoin stabilizes. Whenever Bitcoin stabilizes, altcoins go up. So we're waiting for this to stabilize and figure out where it wants to be. And it will hold its position. The reason why most people don't realize that that's a 42 day that's passed is because people are too busy. If you're too busy just watching the price and looking for it to go down, you're going to be waiting for a long time. Just watch the price, and when you start seeing this, which is consolidation in the market, it means it's accumulating. It's going to head down or up. In this direction, since it's already made its move, it's going to start heading down once the movement's done. I don't know when the movement's done, but when the movement's done, you'll know. All right, guys. So that's it for today. If you haven't bought Bitcoin, I highly suggest you do. If you're holding it for a long term, like right now, it's a good price, especially based off of this. This is all now. Mind you, I should have said this in the beginning. I am not a financial advisor. Anything I say or do is not financial advice. I'm just merely describing what I'm seeing in the market and what I might do in the market. If you have any questions, please reach out. All the social media hashtags and all that stuff at the bottom. You can reach out to one of my channels, and I'll be glad to help you with this because like right now, if you are looking for just in terms of wealth, Bitcoin's where it's at. All right. Well, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Peace out.